actually a very, very special guest. His name is Kenneth D. King. He's from Kenneth D. King Design in San Francisco. And Kenneth, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
Yes,
Tell
I'm
us
excited
about your
about
work.
this.
I know you're an author, you're a designer. You started sewing when you were, what, 6 years of age?
5 or 6, yes.
5 or 6?
Making Barbie clothes.
Barbie clothes?
And that caused my parents no end of concern. Because you see, I lived in Kansas.
Ah.
I wasn't raised in the Bay Area, and moved to Oklahoma when I was 13, and started making my own clothes when I was a teenager. And it was just an interest that I pursued. My degree in college was fashion merchandising.
But you're self-educated, right?
Self-education,
Ah.
yes. So let's see, I worked in display for a number of years, and I worked for this man who was certifiably crazy. And the guy that I worked with and I had a chance to kill him and make it look like an accident.
And that's why you're here today.
Oh, yes. So I decided that homicide was not a career path, so I decided I was going to become a designer.
Ah.
Well, we have an exciting show today.
No, we
because
sure do.
I mean, he has beautiful, beautiful designs we're going to see today. And,
In fact, something you're wearing.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
This
Well,
actually
tell
is
us.
one of it's a customer's of mine,
Uh-huh.
and I got my name with this particular vest, and so this jacket was what I call my waiter's jacket, and it was an attempt to sort of re-look at the vest in a different light, and so actually what looks like a vest is attached to the
It's
jacket.
attached, because it actually is part of the jacket.
And
so
the cuffs
vest
on the
is big.
jacket, actually,
Right.
this particular jacket is an impulse purchase for my particular customer.
Let's clear a couple things up now. Your philosophy is not trying to be at the top of the fashion scene every year with something new and exciting. You were saying that before the show.
Well,
Would you
actually,
explain that a little bit, or?
I'd like to be a household name in the best houses, in that I don't want to be the hot new talent, because when you're in, by definition, you're going to be out.
Okay.
My customers spend a lot of money on these pieces, and my ideal is to produce pieces that they can have a relationship with over a long period of time.
So it's somewhat contemporary in a sense? Would that be the
Well,
right word or
not so much contemporary as functioning outside of time.
Functioning outside of time.
Right. For example, Mariano Fortuny, this designer we were talking about, he did stenciled velvets, and he did these pleated Delphos gowns from 1911 to 1949. And the look of his work evolved, but it never drastically changed. But fashion, in the meantime, went through several silhouette changes.
So he survived the test of time.
He did. And his gowns fetch phenomenal prices at auction now. And so I wouldn't be so presumptuous as to say that I'm a Fortuny, but that's where I want to stand in the history of fashion, is something that will stand the test of time.
Now, how about something like her outfit?
Well, the sleeves he was talking about, yeah.
Well,
Well,
like
this,
this.
like I said, impulse purchase for my customer between $4,500 and $5,000.
I see.
And so they want to wear it that night.
But it's
so
one of a kind.
Yes, one of a kind. So they want to wear it that night. So I cut my sleeves long and face the cuffs so that there's no alteration.
See what you're
Oh,
talking
great
about.
idea.
So that's a case of the
Which is a great
marketplace
design.
determining
Very clever.
aesthetics.
Very
But you know what's great about this design, no matter the woman, no matter how long or short her arms are, but this is a design, and then at some point in time, no matter who wears this,
And it looks
it's versatile.
finished. It
Yeah,
looks
it's finished. Oh, look at how beautifully it's finished.
Very nice.
This is a great design class.
Well, let's
Thank
bring on
you.
the models. Can we bring on the
All
models and
right.
talk about
All
this?
right.
Joyce,
Absolutely. All right. Let's have our first model come out. Amy?
strike up the music and
All
let's see what
right.
we have
Okay,
here.
first off, she's wearing a little bolero jacket out of wool sateen and has a back interest.
Is that all hand done, the back of this
The
jacket?
entire thing hand
That's
done.
beautiful.
And
Beautiful.
underneath is a bustier, hand beaded, and in the front there are sterling silver buttons. The buttons are my own make because I do jewelry also.
Oh.
Now, do you build this from scratch?
Yes, absolutely.
Now,
I
how
started.
do you do that? Do you come up with just a map of some kind?
Well, actually, there's a pattern drafting technique called the moulage, which is in the French method, and there are 21 different measurements that are taken of the figure. And with this, you draft a pattern that fits like a second skin. And so for a strapless garment, you
Like
really
she has
need
on,
a fit.
yeah. That's a beautiful now design because it looks like a vest, but it's strapless. And then the design of the skirt too. I love the slit in front.
It works
it's
nice.
Classic, yes.
It's a
Thank
good
you,
piece.
Amy. Thank you. And Robin, what is now? Look at this. Now this is what you're talking about, the Fortuny, the pleated.
Right. This,
Feel.
this
I
was
love
inspired
that.
by the Fortuny pleats. Obviously, the bustier is a different version of the one earlier. And I really like the particular skirt because you can wear it throughout your life, actually, if your figure doesn't change
Oh
drastically.
no, I know. But look at the detail. That's a very 40s though. It's very nice on the bottom, the way that flows around, and the same design with the vest. And all that's hand sewn by you, Kenneth?
And sewn by me.
That's incredible. That's
So you don't
just
have a
really
room
incredible.
full of people sewing?
No.
You do
I
all
have an
that?
assistant. You'll see her in a minute. Her name is
Okay.
Shelley.
Right.
Okay.
All right, that's gorgeous. Thank you, Robin.
Very nice.
And this is Hazel.
Yes, Hazel is
Oh,
wearing
look at this.
it's
What
gold
a gown.
lame covered with black chiffon.
Uh-huh.
And what I like about the chiffon over the lame is it's not it doesn't make the lame look quite so shiny.
Right. Oh,
and
it's
the
so
embellishment
elegant.
on the bodice is brass wire screen roses.
Oh, really? And it almost has a sarong feel to the front over on the side, but it's a beautiful drape.
Kenneth, how long does it take to put something like this together?
This is a week and a half.
Week and a half.
Yes.
And what would something like this cost?
This
Your-
is about
your custom-
$6,000.
$6,000. So if someone wants to commission your work, they would come in and now do you design for them, or they sometimes tell you they've seen something and want something in particular?
Well, generally, how I gauge whether I'd want to work with a customer or not is, first off, they can't flinch about the price. I mean, because
negotiable.
Well, because
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
there's just no they're no end of trouble when that happens.
There's all kinds of
But this is
Have a
so
good-
beautiful.
But then they
too,
have to
so,
have
yeah.
very definite likes and dislikes, because if they do, they found me because they really like my work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm willing to work with the customer on certain things like colors and fabrics and silhouettes and so forth.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I'm a little dictator.
But
Because
you-
I don't
you
want to
get the
make
feel for
what
this
someone else
gown.
designs. I make what I
Right.
make.
Thank you,
Very
Hazel.
nice, very nice.
And Linda, oh, look at this.
There's a Helen
Linda
again,
is
that's-
just,
Yes.
yes.
This is one of my favorites. The sister to this, I did two of them, is in the permanent collection of the LA County Museum of Art. They
Really?
acquired it for their permanent collection a couple of years ago.
This is,
And the engineering on this particular piece, the object of the game was to create a seamless line with the pleated fabric all the way down. And it worked very nicely.
oh, it is just magnificent. And then, like I mentioned before, when I saw this, it sort of has an airtight feel to it because of the slim line, but it has that flare. Now the beautiful, is that all layered on the bottom?
Yes.
Design?
It's 3 layers, it's all weighted so it hangs quite nicely.
Kenneth, how do you service something like this? You take it to the cleaners? Or
There are cleaners that specialize in this.
now.
There
Now
are.
this particular gown would probably cost, $200-300 to clean.
And why is that? Because it has to be hand.
It
Oh,
has to be
hand
hand
done.
done. And the liability that the cleaner incurs when they take a garment like
Would
this
be
is
high.
tremendous.
I
Now
see.
the bodice part of it, it just has such a unique design.
I
Is
like
that a
that a
wire
lot.
in that? But that's
fishing
very,
line.
it's fishing. And you know what? It's very attractive for a woman who, you know, has a nice slim figure. And tell us about the purse.
Now the handbag, this is a customer's piece. I don't do just clothing. I started out with accessories, actually. I started out with hats and
Okay.
branched out into other accessories, and that's actually what I'm getting back to is
You do jewelry
handbags.
too.
Jewelry, yes.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
that. We're
yeah,
going to
yeah.
have a
But
lot to talk about today.
handbags, hats, that sort of thing, because at this particular price, you limit the number of customers, and so if it also has to fit a specific figure, you limit even
Oh,
further.
Sure do.
absolutely.
And also, with a handbag, you don't have to worry about fit. You can carry it when you're 30. You can carry it when you're 80. It's
I mean,
still a
that's
wonderful
just,
bag.
well, that's just,
I
you're
like that a
carrying a
lot.
work of art. That's a piece of art. Now,
Sure
what would
is.
that, something like that cost?
This was, I
approximately?
believe, $2,500.
Oh, it's
Very
just
nice.
beautiful. I love
Very
the
nice.
tassel.
Now, when you order
design.
an accessory piece like the handbags or the hats or that sort of thing, you
Right.
get a black velvet box lined in black taffeta.
Oh, my, it comes
Because-
beautifully packaged.
yes.
Packaging's it too, isn't it?
So you get the
Oh.
whole package.
Yes.
Linda,
That's great.
thank you.
Thanks,
All your
Linda.
all the models are so beautiful. And look at this next one.
And this is
have
Shelley.
Shelley.
This is your
Oh,
assistant?
This is my assistant, yes.
Oh, she's
the
lovely.
first piece is
great.
crushed velvet wrap with embellished ends.
Oh, look at
this is
that.
the prototype, the ones that I actually put into production. On the back side of the embellishment, there's a zipper compartment, so you don't have to carry a handbag.
Oh, so you can
So
carry
wait,
your.
run that by me again. What
Yeah,
happens?
see these embellished pieces.
Right.
Uh-huh.
On the ones for sale, there's a zippered compartment on the back
Oh,
So
there
it's
it is.
for
So
the
you can,
compact and
purse.
the lipstick.
so you can. Oh, great.
And the advantage of something like this is you can travel with it, you can throw it in a suitcase, you can sit on it at the Opera House.
Oh, and
It's
all
very
wraps
practical.
are
Very
so beautiful.
clever.
And look at all the detail work in the back. And this gown is
Yes.
just magnificent.
Now, what would
fun.
something like this go for?
Actually, let's see now, the wrap is about $2,500 to $3,000. The bustier is about $3,000, and this particular piece has 27 pattern pieces to it.
27.
27.
So for the
when you
viewers
cut it
out
out,
there
it's
who
54
sew,
pieces.
Yeah,
can
that's great.
know that this is just now in the back. Now, is this a
Now, I want
separate
to see
piece?
the back of that again. Is that a?
The bustier with the peplum, does that come off? Can that be worn?
Well, the peplum, the peplum with the facing
Uh-huh.
is one piece. Then the skirt and the net are separate.
Separate. So,
Yeah, so
if
this
you-
could be worn with a very thin skirt. It could be worn with
Oh,
or
so you
tights.
can
slacks,
change.
tights,
Yes.
right? So that's very versatile. I
Sure is.
love- And all that detail in the back. If you get the model just turned around, you can see the
Yes.
back. It's just as beautiful in the back as the front.
How long did it take you to put this one together?
This is about a week and a half.
About a week and a half.
Week and a half. Well, that's amazing because that is just extraordinary. But this is a timeless piece. I can see where these are collector pieces.
Now,
Absolutely.
what's Belle Epoque?
Belle Epoque. Belle Epoque is the era between 1880 and 1910, and I derive a lot of my inspiration from it. It's the era of Art Nouveau. It's the era of Beaux Arts architecture.
Could
The
part
era
of this be that?
This does hearken to just after that when Poiret was doing
Oh,
his
okay.
tunic silhouettes with thin skirts. That was sort of
Right.
where I was when this was being birthed.
That's great. That's a great outfit.
Just incredible. Thank you, Shelley. We're going to bring our models back later on in the next
that's
half of
great.
the show, but we're going to see more of your designs, and but they're just incredible. When you're looking for the pieces and the beads like this, where do you go to find all this?
Anywhere.
Anywhere. Do you
I've-
travel all over the
I
world?
travel all over the world. I found some pieces in Wisconsin recently that were. It was really fun because I had to act like I wasn't interested because I didn't want them to know how much they were worth. I've gone in
great.
dumpsters even.
Really?
Just
You have?
wherever.
Well, I like that.
Yeah,
I
wherever
like
I can find it, I buy it or I
Yeah.
get it.
Now, Kenneth, let's talk
It's a
for a few
great
minutes
story.
from an entrepreneurial
Oh.
point of view. Now, there's some things that happen. There are
Yeah.
things that happen on an everyday basis. Some of the realities, like the accounting function, and you got to get your business license and all that. Do you have any recommendations you'd give to people that are thinking about following in similar footsteps?
Oh gosh.
Don't say don't do it. But
Well, well, I would say definitely a small business class is in order. I didn't.
so a small
I just-
business class would
small
be one.
business class. There was a class I took called Business and the Visual Artist. It was at Fort Mason in San Francisco, and she hit it from an artist standpoint, consignment contracts, that sort of thing, so that. You know, because at the time I didn't know whether I fit into the art world or the retail world.
So you had to make a decision.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your day like? What's a day like? in
Oh
the
gosh, it
world of-
depends.
Yeah, give me a couple of examples.
Well, my favorite days are when I wake up real early when I know that I'm going in to make a new piece. And I can be there by 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, which is, I mean, those who know me know that I like to stay in bed. And there's that, on those days I'll be there probably until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, but there's that satisfaction of when it's done and it's really good, just kind of standing there and going, yes.
Oh, that's great.
You said something earlier
That's
before
great.
we went on the show, went on the air. You said that if you're good, you're going to stay. If you're not good, you're going to be out of this business. Could
Right.
you elaborate on that a little
With
bit?
that note, we have to go to break.
We have to go to a break.
Yes, we're ready to go to break.
Okay, keep that in mind. We're going to
Yes.
take a break. When we come back, Rick is
Okay.
trying to flash us here that we need to be on a break. We need to take a break. When we come back, we have more from the models, and we have more from Kenneth D. King Design. Stay tuned. Don't go away.